Now, with me here is Mr. Emmanuel Emodeke. Is that your name?
Yes,
Yes, I'm happy to have you and happy to see you here.
pleasure.
Just tell me about your innovation and how you actually managed to get here.
ChapChap is basically a digital marketplace. What we're doing at ChapChap is that we believe that everyone should go digital. So we have built a platform to enable, especially shop owners, use go digital because we believe that if they don't go digital now, then they are bound not to benefit in the future. And one of the things we have done to enable shop owners go digital is that we have built for them a point of sale. Supermarkets, when you go into a supermarket, you see the way you scan the products using a computer and a scanner. What we have done is that we have developed a software that can do it on your phone. So using your phone, you can scan your products, and by scanning your products, basically what you do is that as a business owner, you get to understand your business because they say if you don't know your numbers in your business, then you don't know your business. So with our business, what basically a shop owner will be able to have, they'll be able to know what products they have, how many, their best-selling products. They'll be able to enter the expenditure. They'll be able to enter the inventory. At the end of the day, we as a business, what we're offering them is basically a mini accounting system that will tell them whether they're profitable or not profitable.
Emodeke, just agree with me that yes, we're happy about the innovations in ICT most especially. And I think we can count the numerous advantages that these things have. Let's talk about the disadvantages. When we start getting digital and trying to manage space, managing staff, human resources and all the things, we're trying to fight unemployment. But don't you think that these apps that we're actually developing may actually help us again to get deeper into unemployment, where in my supermarket I'll reduce on the numbers because I now have possibly ChapChap helping me to do what humans would be doing.
I'm glad you've brought up that point, and this is something that I've already said about innovators, is that we should not innovate things that replace people. We should innovate things that enhance people. What we have done is that we have given an opportunity for business to understand what they're dealing with. So most innovators, they are glad to build something, go out and sell a software, and that software replaces particular people, and he gets a few bucks. But he doesn't understand that he's creating a problem for generations. Even probably his son will miss that opportunity of getting that job. But what we have done, ChapChap, is basically we are enhancing the what they call small, medium enterprises. Because if you don't know your product, one research we did, we went into shops and we asked them, how many products do you have? And none of them gave us an answer. We asked them, what is the worth of all the products in your shop? And no one had an answer. So that, at the end of the day, if they don't have that, then they will not benefit at all.
Now, do you know why? Because many Ugandans are actually informal, and we do informal trade, informal business, and all the things. And really, like you said, you go to somebody and they can't tell you this is how much you have in our shop. Now, how does ChapChap help them? Because I think at the end of the day, it has to be me, Emma, or Jagenda, who should actually manage the ChapChap to insert in every other detail of what I'm selling or something like that. But we're dealing with informal people. How are you going to manage that?
And that's what we have done. We have produced a very easy to use platform, and we have built it based on consulting with the shop owners of what it would look like. Instead of us building what we know, we have actually gone back to them and asked them what exactly should it look like. And from that, we have got back. We have tried to give it to the layman who has never actually seen an application before, and the navigation is so easy for them to do so. So we don't think that they will find a challenge in accessing the application and using it.
People are inspired to do certain things because they grew seeing them, they grew being part of them and all the things. Why did you decide to get into ChapChap, which is actually managing shop owners? Have you yourself been a trader, or you come from a family that has been trading in shops all through?
Another good question. I have been in business for the past, I think, 7 years or 8, and in the traditional business, and I never got an opportunity of actually doing going into ICT. And one point of time, I was running a business with my brother, and he was an accountant. And when I was running the business, for me, I thought that every money that I made in the drawer was mine. But he reminded me that in the business, there are costs of goods and the expenditures. And all those have to be deducted. We were making so much money at the end of the month, but I couldn't even buy myself a t-shirt. So one time, actually, I thought my brother, who I trust so much, was robbing me. But when I sat down to actually he sat down with me and showed me the beauty of what it takes to understand your business by numbers. And from there on, I thought, if this is what many business people don't know, and yet some of us are well versed with the mathematics and accounting, and yet we don't implement such things, then I thought this is something we should look into and help. And by digitizing shop owners, we are digitizing Uganda. And when you digitize Uganda, I can tell you that many people will benefit because digital has so many advantages it comes with.
Must all innovators have an IT background, or anybody can start innovation without even belonging to the IT industry before?
I think that's where we go wrong. Having an IT background doesn't mean you're an innovator. An innovator is somebody who sees the pain in people and basically creates a solution for it. Yes. So it doesn't mean that if you can write code, you're actually an innovator. No. That's what I believe. That it's somebody who understands the pain of the people and basically develops something based on the pain of the people. Yes.
How did you feel being one of? How do you feel being one of the 12 of the so many? Because statistics reveal that you're about 350 innovators. They chose 40 out of those, and eventually 12 who are supposed to actually be honored here today. How did you feel being invited as one of the 12 here?
I think as Chap Chap, we are humbled to be part of the 12 because we know that there are people out there who are really innovating and probably they have even better innovations than we do. And emerging among the top people in the nation to do that, for us we're humbled, but again, we have a lot to do because we have a lot to show the world and the country at large that people are going to benefit from this innovation at the end of the day. Yes.
Ayan, in video, you're a group, and how many are you if you're a group?
We are 10. We are 10.
Okay.
10 staff.
Well, that's very good. And when do you hope to roll it out? When do you hope to start it, or it's already working?
We have been in the market over a year and 5 months now. Yes.
How does somebody get to you? How does somebody now benefit from Chap Chap? What do we do?
So you just go to Play Store, search for Chap Chap Merchant, and download the application. It's a very easy to navigate platform. Yes. And also as a user, if you don't have a shop, you can also download it as a user. Of course, now that we're not going to have scratch cards in the market, also we sell digital services like airtime and data. And the reason why we are doing the digital airtime and data is because we believe that those small things are what are going to show people the beauty of going digital, as the government is prioritizing on that. Okay. Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much, and I want to wish you all the best in the world.
Thank you so much. A pleasure.
Well, thank you so much, Emma Emodeke, one of the innovators that we're seeing here today. As you can see, there are so many here, and 12 of these actually supposed to benefit, and they're going to get 2.5 billion Uganda shillings from the Ministry of ICT as part of the innovations, because this is really where government is actually looking to and focusing and to ensure that we actually get there. Now, it's basically about innovations, as you can see. Now, in the ministry here, the program of the National ICT Initiative Support Program is actually what is happening and benefiting them. Now, these are the lucky 12 who are here, as you can see, and well, as we continue to see all the others and where they get. Lots of things are continuing to happen. But like we told you, later on, the Prime Minister will be here to officially launch this, to see this, and of course, also to appreciate our different innovators, young men and women, and I think it's really very important that this is happening here. So that means very soon we'll start to see the Mark Zuckerbergs of Uganda, just like many of us are on WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and all the things. These are innovations that were started by some young men and some young women somewhere in the world. And this is actually what we're starting to see here in Uganda happening and starting to roll out as we see the ministry, they're doing this. Now, to just let you know, the ministry actually earmarked 13 billion Uganda shillings. That is up for this particular program. But remember, a part of this money is supposed to help in building the hub at Nakawa, the ICT hub, which was just launched last year in Nakawa. And this is going to be space for all innovators to actually go there, find equipment, find everything, and of course be able to also tell us and roll out. Now with me here are some other innovators, and these are one of the 12. Are you a group or you are individuals?
We're a group from Makerere University. I personally am from the Artificial Intelligence Laboratory.
You call it Artificial Intelligence?
Yes.
What is this now? What does Artificial Intelligence Laboratory whatever do? Let's start with that.
So with Artificial Intelligence, we happen to use computer vision algorithms to help us analyze images so that we can make sense out of that data. We also use these algorithms to help us make sense of other sets of data. Yes.
When you talk about intelligence, number one, we go into the forces. It has to be police, it has to be army, and all the things. It's just knowledge. What's your name again?
I'm Fiona Sozi. Yes.
Okay. So how did you get here? How did you come here? Are you part of the innovators who are coming to benefit from the fund here, and what did you innovate anyway?
Yeah, we are innovators. So we came as part of the group that was selected. Our projects were selected for funding in this particular presentation here. So we've come here to showcase our work and also to receive the funding from NETA Uganda. We're one of the beneficiaries.
How many are you?
We are 2 teams that were successful. Each team, well, there's a core team which does administration, and then the technical team that does the actual software development. And so it's a team of 12, but for the different projects from the AI lab, it's going to be a team of about 4 people. And then the other project, which is a sign language translator to help deaf people communicate with the people that don't understand sign language. It's another team of about 4 people as well.
Now, what inspired you into starting what you started?
The problems around us, mobile microscopy, which is this project that from the AI lab, is one that addresses the gap that we have in our health centers, especially in rural communities, where there's shortage of lab technicians. So if someone goes to a clinic and there's no lab technicians, they're not able to get a diagnosis. And so with the technology that we have, mobile devices and artificial intelligence, you're able to develop a tool or a system that can support such systems to not necessarily have to rely on a person being there, because technology is a viable solution for that. So we see gaps in our health systems, health providers, and we want to address that gap. The sign language translator, we have deaf people, but there are not many people that understand sign language. So if a deaf person needs to access medicine or healthcare or education, they're not able to communicate their need if the person on the other end does not understand the language they are speaking. So we use a technology that can translate sign language to sound so that this person is able to communicate.
Now, with all the niceties of using technology, innovations and all the things, and we're running at the risk of losing out on human resource. The time will come when I don't need you, you don't need me, and it's just my smartphone. Once I have my smartphone, I can transact, I can buy, I can do banking, I can do all the things. And at the end of the day, I don't need you, you don't need me, and all the things. Won't we cause more problems, especially for those who cannot innovate? You want to answer that?
We can't do away with a human being. Even in a classroom, you can do away with a teacher, but there are situations where a teacher is not able to be there. So then technology steps in to provide the support that the other person is not able to provide at that particular time.
Well, I want to thank you so much. How much money are you expecting from government today?
A lot of money.
How much is a lot of money?
Maybe $100,000.
So congratulations. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. Let's now take you to entertainment here. And of course, these are the many innovators, as you can see them, students from Makerere University. Let's continue enjoying with the GREN performers who are giving us the very best of what they can actually do as we continue to be part of what is happening here.
All the innovators once again that participated in the first round once again. And as I conclude, I want to emphasize that innovations are the key game changers in the economy. And ICT's promotion serves as a strategic tool that will foster great innovation. ICTs and ICT-enabled activities will enable institutions to design more innovative, effective, and efficient responsive services for clients and businesses. We shall request through Right Honorable Prime Minister and State House that these innovators will get a moment with His Excellency the President to demonstrate to him the jobs they have created. With these few or many words, Right Honorable, allow me to invite you to give your remarks and thereafter give certificates to those that they deem to have them, that the committee deemed that they have them, and thereafter give the money I don't know how they will give the money, the PS knows, but there is some money to be given. But if you don't see the money, don't ask yourself, we are the Ministry of ICT. We carry money online. So you keep waiting to see how we shall give the money. God bless you, and Right Honorable, you're welcome, sir.
Can you come here a little? You can see us. Who is the father of the other? Okay. Now, I'm having a good successor, and therefore, that's why I become younger every day. First of all, I had an occasion this morning at the ministry. I was also trying to introduce innovation of how the civil servants work. Because everybody, we know that unless they work, our society will not be transformed. So I was inaugurating a quality improvement system. And it is only in the Ministry of East Africa. Let me see how it works. And then we shall attack the 400 people, 400,000 civil servants. Because with all these brains around, I don't see why we should be in poverty. Why we cannot renovate ourselves, our society, out of this demanding situation, this abominable situation. Then the Prime Minister rang me. He says, hello, I have been summoned at short notice to State House. Can you please go and preside over this? Because he knows it is at my heart. We said, well, if you want a job done, ask it the most busiest person, because the lazy one has no time to remove a jigger from his foot. So that's why I'm here. And it appears it is God's plans. Because last time, when you were inaugurating the launching of the laying of the ground, again I was called. Now I am called. Now let me tell you, this renovation is only brought up by intellectual leadership. Without intellectual leadership, nothing moves in this world. You said you are God-fearing nation, but when God himself wanted to save this world, whom did he send? His son. And you think to be a son of God is a simple job. The only begotten son, and who a son doesn't know protocol. He can climb His Excellency, he can do anything. Is the one who he sent. The one who knows more about his father is whom he sent. So, this renovation, which you have brought here, even the going in the bush, was a big renovation. Because people thought that they can only advance the nation only in air-conditioned rooms. And nobody knew that by renovating to go to the bush and turning it into a university to teach the peasants how to get rid of bad government and create a new order. That was not heard of. So, in other words, this is yet a question of creating confidence in Ugandans, especially the younger ones, that the future is in your hands. Your brain has been vibrated sufficiently. You can be able to think out solutions to Africa's problems. Now, with that background, I will just give you a personal experience. One, that in 2006, was the time when we are being forced to move from togetherness to apartment. And we went so that we can be able to transform our society within a limited time of 30 years. And that's why we said, in order to reach that target, we must go back to planning. So we revived the planning. And we have a 30-year plan, we have a 10-year plan, we make a 5-year plan, and a review every 2.5 years. So now we are on course. And I'm realizing today, I've come to realize part of our dreams. And therefore, today, by inviting me again, by God putting a lot of obstacles to my boss, so that I also come here. I am only nursing and becoming younger to see all of you, younger people, taking on your challenges, innovating yourselves so that you are able to change your society. Again, the other week, I was addressing academicians in the Inter-University Council of East Africa. And I said, the country is not progressing because the people who are supposed to think are the professors. You are supposed to think for everybody. Don't think your mother or your grandmother will think for himself. No. You think by observing the obvious. I gave them an example of Isaac Newton. I said when he tells us that he discovered that he found an apple falling down, was that a very big, was it rocket science? Who had ever seen a mango or an apple falling horizontally or falling upwards? But then he saw it, he observed, and then he discovered the law of gravity. But some of you, you say you are poor, you are not. Who tells you you are poor? I gave them a simple example. I said, hello, last time I missed my plane because I could not reach the airport in time. Why? Because 4 cars were moving this way, 4 cars were moving there, and we had a queue of about 3 miles. Isn't that wealth? Or were you given this by the aid, those people who give you aid? Because for you, you think, unless you are given aid, you cannot move. Secondly, when Africa, Brazil, Russia, and China and India met in South Africa, figures were released saying that in 1 year, China sold to Africa things worth $200 billion, which means we are rich. And we can pay for what we want. So even the cars, if you tell me they are not given to you by your Shaidizi, it means we have the money. But why do you have a mentality? And the professors always cannot think about obvious things and give us solutions. We have the market, we have the money, we can create those things and sell to ourselves, but the professors are asleep. And I said, until you wake up, Africa will not be able to move. So here you are also liberating the professors who have taken part in this exercise. I congratulate you for having liberated yourselves. So, I think with those remarks, and having already been rejuvenated to be young, let me now deliver the burden of my boss, which he has given me to deliver here. It goes as follows. The Honorable Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Ndugu Frank Tumwebaze, and your team, ICT innovators, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to join you today to celebrate and award our young people for the innovations and enterprising spirit they have exhibited in the ICT sector. It is innovators like these that buttress our confidence that our young people are making good progress and are getting skills that will transform the country. As you know, the government recognizes ICT as a key pillar for the implementation of the long-term national development programs. We all recognize that harnessing the ICT will lead to a knowledge-based economy, which is very well articulated in the national vision, and hence knowledge-based society, which is a key ingredient for transformation. The creation of a fully-fledged ministry responsible for ICT by His Excellency, the President, was a solid demonstration of the government's determination and a commitment to support the sector. According to the National Development Plan 2, government has committed itself to increase job creation through ICT research and development, as well as increasing the stock of ICT skilled industry-ready workforce. In addition, the NRM manifesto puts emphasis on the promotion of ICT research and innovation. In this regard, I'm glad to note that the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance has gone further to create an enabling environment for the promotion of ICT research and innovation by implementing the National ICT Initiative Support Program. This program that has 3 core pillars, namely support to ICT innovators, development of regional ICT innovation hubs, and support to existing ICT incubation hubs. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to congratulate the Honorable Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Ndugu Frank Tumwebaze, and your team for walking the talk on the above pillars. One of the things this morning in the quality management service, we said we want to see that people talk the walk the talk, and both ways. Not to talk this way and then you behave differently. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to congratulate. Today, we celebrate the innovative capabilities of Ugandans, especially the youth, in the use of ICT to produce useful products. I want to congratulate all the innovators who participated in this initiative, and I am glad to note that over 300 projects were submitted for consideration, out of which 12 were finally selected to be supported. One may ask, we are going to give handshakes and presents to the 12. And one would say, what about the others? No. Now they have been doing innovation in their private premises, which means they have been renting. Now we are going to build hubs. So everybody will have a place there to do his renovation free of charge. This huge number of applicants shows the extent to which our young people have taken up ICT and are developing innovation. I also understand that all the proposals were good, and if resources were available, more projects would have been supported. To those of you who were not selected, I encourage you to continue improving your projects and not to give up. Because Uganda and Africa has got numerous problems which require solution. So you are now on the way. So don't give up. I'm happy to note that the selected innovations are not limited to technical components of ICT, but cut across into the application of ICT in other spheres of life, like health, agriculture, finance, energy, and others. This goes to show the transformative potential of ICTs, and that once used well, ICT can actually support the economic and the social development of this country, and indeed catapult us to middle income status. As already pointed out by the Minister, for a very long time, the government of Uganda and the business sector have overly relied on foreign ICT products and solutions. What's up? What are these things you call social media? You know, I am a BBC, born before computer. So some of those things, well, after all, I'm alone here. Even if I don't, I just encourage these ones to be ICT. Now, there is Twitter, there is what else? Facebook, there is what? So, all these things, they require, we need our own component to the intellectual, what is it? Library of Africans' brains to the international, to the global participation. Otherwise, how would you register yourself that you are worth also human beings? If there is nothing there, you want others to fit there, but you are not producing some. So the challenge now, as the minister has told you, is katuogere. Eh? We want the people to wogere. Go and renovate, and so that by now we have got our interconnectivity. Eh? Who tells you that we are consumers? Eh? We are but you must be able to study and be able to utilize that study to solve your problems. That's why in our renovation, we have managed to lead you for more than 30 years without any problem. If we are doing the business as usual, we would have already moved, and we would not have seen these young girls also coming here. Eh? I've got a lot of Badama in my village, but nobody could ever think that a girl from Badama could also be the chairman of the ICT in Parliament. That's a renovation of the movement. As a country, we should stop being a net importer of ICT solutions, but rather strive to be a net exporter of ICT and a participant in these highly intellectual innovations of the world, of mankind. I was in India, 1957 to 62, but they did not know the ICT. But in 2025, they will be the leading members of humanity in ICT. So with China being the greatest and the richest country in the world by 2035, for the first time, the tilt will move, that the brain and the cash will be in the hands of the greatest number of humanity, instead of a small group. Today is truly a time to celebrate our innovators. However, I hope you will not stop at just being innovators, but that you will continue to build on what you have achieved. As you receive the government support to extend your innovation further, please use the resources wisely and productively to create wealth and also create employment. I want to take this opportunity to caution all Ugandans to use ICT responsibly. Some use ICT for posting offensive messages that are not only wastage of time, but also misuse of great resource such as internet. Additionally, the increasing use of ICT has also come along with increased risks of cyber attacks and other ICT security risks. Hacktivists, terrorists, and organized criminals are also making innovations with bad intentions, targeting the cyberspace. So let us take caution as we embrace innovations. I can give you a very good example. You know, I'm a vice chairman of one of the universities, and when we introduced ICT, one student says, I want to use this one in his private talks to become rich. And the only way is to see how I can manipulate. And we gave him the basic education. He went abroad, he came back, and indeed he hacked. And off he went. But that is not the way to do it. And I don't know whether he's comfortable there with the route he managed to manipulate between Bank of Uganda and the transfers. Let me conclude by emphasizing that the way of carrying out business in the world today is changing at a very high speed, with the new technologies taking a center stage. Both the government and the private sector have no choice other than to move in that direction and adopt the use of ICTs to modernize service delivery. Once again, I congratulate our innovators and wish you all the best. Thank you. This is the message, the speech by Right Honorable Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, Prime Minister of Uganda, at the award ceremony of the ICT innovators at the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. So, with this one, I have the pleasure of handing over the speech.
Bring a mobile microphone.
You want me here?
When they come, they shake hands
And then they start the line up over there for a check, right?
The check is the last. Bring Kenneth.
He reads.
Thank you, Right Honorable Prime Minister. At this stage, we shall award certificates to the participants, the 40. We shall start with the team that proposed AgriGap. AgriGap.
Let them come. Rick, why don't you read them? And they
AgriGap, SECAT, Multimedia Research Group,
be there.
Toxic Advanced Intrusion Detection System, Sign Language Communications, Sign Language, Innovators Investment Club, East Kololo Hub,
Multimedia.
East Kololo Hub, Student Placement Uganda.
Which one is what? Toxic was taken. We took toxic. Toxic was taken already. Yes.
Crans Company Limited, Li-Fi Uganda,
You mentioned when you.
Martha Karunji,
Which one?
Thinkline 256, Malan Company Limited, CodeStax Technologies Limited,
This one.
Artificial Intelligence Research Group, Yugaton Limited,
They may be handling for you. They mentioned I gave you.
Rep Zero,
Which one? Huh?
Prunes Technology Limited, Kevin Tusime,
Think line, think.
Kevin Tusime, Elmot Limited,
Which one?
Quest Digital Finance Limited,
CodeStax. Vision. They took it. Some of your colleagues.
Innovate More, Uganda Limited. The Medical Concierge Group Limited. Innovate Streams Limited. Munu Technologies. Munu Technologies. Zenode Uganda Limited. Zenode. This is Zenode. Enagro. 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 Dero Energy Services Limited. Wolira App. Ocular System. Ocular System. Chap Chap Africa. Nagsoft Technologies. Kampala Legal Aid. Nij Engineering and Consultancy Company. Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense. Hamwe East Africa Limited. Prisms. 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 Intel World International. Sisimo Technologies and Kai Care. Sisimo Technologies and Kai Care. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the end of this event, we are now going to do the second last activity. And collectively, to the 12 innovation teams, we shall be awarding a total of 2.5 billion collectively. These payments will be processed, like the minister mentioned, electronically. However, for our ceremony, I'm going to invite the following to come and have a ceremonial function to that effect. Okay. So, the disbursements will be as follows. M Pharma, 18,740,000. So if I invite you, kindly step forward. These resources are phased and they're based on milestones to avert what the state minister is referring to, and also on our part to avert nugatory expenditure. The other one is Kai Care. Kai Care requested for a very modest support of 6.529 million, 6,529,650. That was their proposal, and they'll be awarded that money. Prisms will be awarded 52,640,000. Could you kindly step forward if I call your name? Ocular will be awarded 14 million Uganda shillings. Sixth Sense will be awarded 24,408,000. Sisimo Technologies will be awarded 90,219,750 shillings. Wolida will be awarded 17 million shillings. Exente will be awarded 177,660 shillings. Dero will be awarded 95,832,000. Enagro will be awarded 32,400,000. AIMS, the Academic Information Management System, will be awarded 1 billion, and for the following reasons. One, the Ministry of Education as well as Ministry of Finance agreed that this solution be immediately implemented and deployed across all public universities. And they are in the process of that deployment. And the last one is Mono Investments, which is a BPO, employing people, young people for employment in IT, which is 600 million. That is the list, Right Honorable. And the total, that's what makes the total of 2.5 billion that is being awarded today. So we have so we shall now have a photo opportunity with the Prime Minister and the winners with the analog check, and then the digital ones will follow shortly.
So a photo opportunity is going on right now, where the Prime Minister is presiding over, handing over of the 2.5 billion shillings check, which is the aggregate amount given to the 12 innovators who have been given certificates of recognition of their good work and who will progressively go beyond 12 innovators, become 40, 100, as Uganda progresses with the socio-economic and development transformation program path. Yeah, the media are having a field day. Right. So, DJ, allow me to request all those who have been awarded to showcase your innovations. You had been set, so you know how to organize yourselves. Start.
Ladies and gentlemen, watching UBC TV Live, as you can see, the ceremony for recognizing and celebrating innovations in Uganda here is coming to an end, as you've just seen the Minister of ICT helping the second Deputy Prime Minister here to award to different innovators, as you can see. And in the hall where we are here right now, as you can notice, is the place where the different innovators, actually those who won, showcasing their different products, as you can see. Now, a group of 12 collectively receiving 12 billion shillings from government, just right here, to show the world the different innovations and the things, of course, those that led them to merit to actually get and to receive this particular token, as it is a center here, the knowledge cyber, and a number of those, as you can notice. Now, the Prime Minister here, and well, here he comes in. Yes, as you can see, the different innovators here who have just received their certificates of recognition, and the 12 eminent Ugandans whose software solutions are going to be adopted into the Ugandan system to ensure that we actually get where we're supposed to be as a country. And as you can see, now this is just one of the many, and
these are programs they have been able to apply for. So then this is Mbara University. For them, they have used the system for already one whole semester, and they had 3,900 students enrolled. They registered 3,080 and 36. The problem, yes, it does. it collects the results from the lecturers directly. Amalgamates them and prepares them for the Senate to discuss them and be able to pass the results and automatically generate the transcripts out automated without having to involve the different the staff members. It is also integrated to IFMS, and the government is able to see, especially the Ministry of Finance, how they are able to collect. The Mbara is fully integrated, Busitema University is fully integrated, and Chambogo University, where the Ministry of Finance is able to see how much they are able to collect and disburse them accordingly. So this is the live system, the live feed right now that is even already posting in the IFM.
Patents you are registering over this?
Yes, we have.
Have you?
Yes, we have.
You have the patents?
Yes, we have. And the
What will this
copyright.
one help you? The man we are giving you.
It is helping us to deploy in the rest of all the public universities. Then thereafter we are going to deploy to the tertiary institution, and hopefully after that we'll be able to deploy for the secondary and primary schools, so that we can improve and provide accurate information for the UPE and the USC programs.
Can I be able to see my transcript online?
You'll be able to see, depending on, because we have a particular carton for the data that we have imported. But thereafter, especially for Chambogo universities, they have been able to electronically put all their transcripts online. And yes, for all public universities, it's going to be the same. So they can verify using the QR code. And
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, let's see that.
Thank you very much.
So the next one is Ulira app. Honorable, you should come closer because I've been around this.
It's a hearing for an individual. There are patients who are taking ototoxic drugs, like people on TB, patients who are taking HIV medicine, and in the long run, they end up losing their hearing sense. So people have to travel from up country and wherever they are to come to Mulago to see the audiologist to test them using a pure tone audiometer, which is a little bit expensive. And at some point, some people cannot afford it. Yet, you find that some people in the villages, they have the smartphones. And this app, Ulira, works on the principles of the pure tone audiometers, the gold standard for hearing assessment. So here we can assess your hearing level using a sine wave. And we can generate an audiogram, which the audiologist uses to determine your hearing level. They can know whether you're mild or you're totally deaf, or so that they can regulate on how they administer the drugs.
In simple terms, can you help a deaf person to hear?
No, we cannot help a deaf person to hear, but we can prevent someone from getting totally deaf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that only mean that you have to have a smartphone?
Yeah, you need to have a smartphone. Obviously, the Wananchi who don't have a smartphone, we are working on an assumption that the doctor in the nearest, or the clinic officer in the nearest clinic has a smartphone.
Did the health say this can work for them?
Yes, you presented to them.
Yeah, we presented to them.
Thank you.
This is thank you. This is the agricultural affairs profiling. Now the profiling part for registration is majorly for the big guys like NADS, OWC, even the government. For the individual farmer, they will be able to use the application as content consumers. That means information which comes in form of SMS when their produce is delivered to any bulking center or processor, for getting actionable information, weather alerts, especially from Ministry of Agriculture, weather, crop, livestock, name it. This same application is also helping enterprises, agribusinesses, to be able to generate payrolls. Every time a farmer delivers something, they get an instant, real-time notification that you delivered, for example, 20 liters of milk, wherever you are, whether you're in Kenya, Japan.
What are your target markets?
Our target market is the government, the public sector, of course, and then cooperatives, farmer-based organizations, SMEs. On inbound, we have SMEs, private sector, agro input suppliers. They want to know where to find how many people are dealing in maize, how many are dealing in groundnuts, to be able to provide them information, and especially supplies. And all this is going to be in terms of merchant payments, sourcing, and payments. Yes. Thank you.
M-Farmer, just like you noticed, gets 18 million shillings for this particular innovation that they've done here. As you heard the permanent secretary telling us how individually these groups will be receiving this 2.5 billion shilling fund from the Ministry of ICT.
And it takes for the kidney disease in the person, and it's able to tell you which level of kidney disease are you. Yes, so it will be working in health centers, laboratories, and clinics. Yes.
Has it been tested?
Yes, the accuracy, we now have an error of 0.08. Of 0.08, yes. But we want to work more with the doctors to see that we eliminate that error. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, viewers. As you can see, the Minister of ICT, the State Minister, the PS, moving to the different groups, those that have actually benefited from this particular fund, as you can see.
They spend 30 minutes doing your diagnosis. This is a malaria slide. Yes. This is a malaria slide that is just here on the microscope. They spend 30 minutes being able to evaluate if you're malaria positive or, not. And we can reduce the process from 30 minutes to 2 minutes using what they call machine learning. So this is artificial intelligence, computational techniques, really. So the idea is to be able to do this. And we are being able to do this for malaria, for tuberculosis, for intestinal worms. The idea is to bridge the gap so that you can have clinicians who are working on more people per day in an African setting or in our Ugandan setting, be able to handle more patients per day accurately. Yes. Yes. So essentially this is the foundation of the innovation. Yes. So we're doing this in direct collaboration with the laboratories in Mulago. So the research at Makelori is being done in collaboration with the beneficiary.
If you reduce the testing time to what?
So the testing time is with the current prototype, being reduced to under 4 minutes from 30 minutes. Yes, you know that part where you go to the hospital and they tell you wait outside? You should be able to be pricked and immediately the machine, then the clinician would tick off that this is positive enough to confirm without the eye strain.
But they are rapid tests.
And now the rapid tests are only disease specific. From a point of view that always need a human effort to be able to look into the microscope. Okay? And now we are taking that strain away from their eyes. We are taking the inconsistency that comes with misdiagnosis at times of days. Once they work on 10 clients, it's eye strain.
So the innovation is about precision.
The innovation is about precision. The innovation is about filling the gap where you have a high ratio of patients to the clinician. So it's time saving and much, much cost effective.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for visiting us all. Yes. Thank you.
So it's a sign language to sound translation. We have over 260,000 known cases of deaf people in Uganda, and unable to communicate to a bigger percentage of the population does not understand sign language. So if a deaf person needs a service at a health center, he or she cannot communicate. So with technology like this one, you have flex sensors, so the person can make any movement, and then the person on the other end is able to understand what this person is trying to say. So much noise, but...
We'll try and make a few seconds.
Yeah. So he can do his name. His name is Mario. So that's the prototype. So the funding that we are getting, we need to get another glove, and then also cover this because you can't give this to someone. It's too open. So to just improve the prototype to make it more portable.
Hello, how are you? Good. Honorable, nice to meet you. You gave us this last year. For building a cashless economy, and so we're making progress, right? The problem, sir, is that for most of Uganda, businesses are transacting only with cash, and for you government, that is not a very good thing. Characterized by a very, very large informal sector, right? Because people are transacting with cash. What we are trying to do at Sente is to build a cashless Uganda. And we're doing a good job, sir. The facts are in this booklet that we've given you. We already have businesses that are working in Uganda. This is just a small sample of a business that we're supporting. I won't name the business for privacy issues, but they are selling oil products on our platform without using cash. We are very ambitious. For the money you're going to give us, sir, we are scaling this to 5 countries. So we're going to be in Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and Zambia by the end of 2018. Why is this important? I'm sure you're aware about the Intercontinental African Free Trade Area. We actually are requesting for an introduction to that organization, because trade between Africa will not happen with cash. It will happen digitally. And we, sir, from Uganda, want to support that trade between Africa. Yeah.
What other banks are doing?
We are complementing the banks. We work with banks.
How different are you?
So we complement banks, right? Banks will do banking, right? We help businesses sell. That is our value proposition. Yes, so that's what I'm saying. The banks work with us. The banks actually themselves are not the ones who build those solutions. We are the ones who build those solutions. Our niche is African businesses. Yes, starting with Uganda, right? We're saying African businesses should be able to sell anywhere in the world, right? Right now you can sit in Uganda and buy a product from the USA. You can sit in Uganda and buy a product from the UK. How come you can't sit in Nigeria and buy a Ugandan product? Why can't you sit in Zambia and buy a Ugandan product? And that's what we're trying to make
That's
happen.
the difference I was looking for.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we know that the number of pediatricians in Uganda is very limited. And pediatricians are the medical doctors who are specialized enough to manage the sick newborns. And at village level, there are actually no pediatricians at all. So management of sick newborns is done by midwives and nurses. Yeah, so what we did, we trained the midwives and nurses on how they can fully assess the sick newborn. Then we give them the PRISMS application. So you input the assessment findings, the clinical assessment findings, the PRISMS application, then you tap send message. And in a turnaround time of about 8 seconds, you have a management plan. And the management plan you get is similar to what a pediatrician would have given for the same case. So that way we are trying to bridge the gap.
Who is consulted? Pediatrician somewhere or?
No, we wrote algorithms that give you the management plan that is tailored to what you input. So it's automated.
It looks for content to vary on the diagnosis.
Yes, so the management plan is similar to this. Yeah, so when a midwife or a nurse reads this, they can go ahead and manage the baby. And this plan that is here is similar to what a pediatrician would have given for the same case.
It reads and transmits to the pediatrician.
No, it sends to the midwife. who is at village level, because the pediatricians are very skilled to manage the sick newborns anyway. Yeah.
Okay. So we have captured what the, am I right? We've captured what the pediatricians look out for.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So that when the nurse queries, they get that management plan.
So is health going to deploy these?
We spoke to them, we presented to them.
Yeah, we did. We presented to the newborn steering committee.
Is because they say they like the system.
They must deploy them. If they don't deploy them, then the whole concept collapses.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, now Prisms is one of those that have actually merited to get. Now Prisms here is one of the innovations, as you saw the gentleman try to explain what it actually means. Now Prisms is just an acronym of protecting remote infants by short messages or SMSs, as you can see. And the innovator here has just been trying to explain to the ministry officials, because remember he's one of those actually who qualifies to get 52.6 million Uganda shillings, and collectively then everybody is actually, all of them collectively will be getting 2.5 billion Uganda shillings, and of course just that innovation of Prisms qualifies for a 52.6 million shillings, as you can see. Now, these others, also one of the innovators, as you can see, and well, we'll try to hear them as much as we can.
Without any security, get a loan and have access to, yeah.
Working with banks?
Yeah, we're working with banks, telecom providers as an intermediary. All right, please go ahead.
Okay, so, well, that's Enagro, and of course, Enagro gets 32.4 million shillings from this innovation fund from the ministry, as you can see. Now, there is another one here.
Solution is uniquely address a problem in the energy sector and in financial services. We know that a lot of businesses and homes want to adopt solar power. But when you go to a business and tell them to allocate the funding for that power, they get apprehensive because their capital has to go into the core business. So we get our funding and install localized solar power. And then we take that unit that's installed and then sell onwards shares in that entity into investment clubs and local wananchi through a mobile platform. And what happens is that when you get a fractional interest of the installation, when the off-taker pays their bill, the fractional claim on that bill goes to your mobile money account as an investor. So you get steady returns out of electricity, and then you get an investment asset on one side, but steady power that's clean, reliable, and in many cases cheaper than umeme. So we are solving the power problem in terms of electrification and the aspect of renewable energy, investment assets in this country.
How different are you from Enagro? You look to be having the same.
I think theirs is more about taking grid power to the last mile, rural electrification. Ours is a substitute. Ours is solar, but off-grid power. So we install it locally. We agree a power purchase agreement with the off-taker. If we came to this ministry, and I hope we can install some here, we'd agree an agreement. We're about 20% cheaper than what's available right now.
The innovation there?
That in itself is that we're distributing renewable energy, but financing it with innovation from latent capital that sits in investment clubs and bank accounts, really, getting no interest. Thank you.
The last one, I guess.
Enagro, one of the companies there to also be a beneficiary of this money, as you can see. This is now grid lighting. Okay.
So our aim is that we need everyone to first know their blood group, so that in case of any emergency, your blood group is known. But two, in case you're in need of blood, you can search for the nearest blood, the people with the same blood group of yours within the locality where you are. So if this is a hospital and I send a broadcast, the broadcast will go to the people who have the same blood group with me, and they can rush in to donate blood. Then also, the fact that you have donated blood, in case your blood gets used for example, you donate it from here and it is used in Karamoja, you'll get a message telling you, thank you for donating blood. Your blood has been used in Karamoja Hospital, to help with accountability of what? Of blood. Then the other thing, of course, we want to do is that with time, we are going to expand to make sure that all the regional blood banks are connected, so that you know the amount of blood in every blood bank, so that the country does not run into a crisis of blood. Because every day we are seeing there's no blood in Mlago, there's no, but there are people willing to donate blood. Why are they not donating blood? So that's what we want to first remove the myth of somebody saying, me, I have a lot of alcohol in my body, so I cannot donate blood. So we want to reduce those myths and drive up the blood donation using an app. It is a location-based app, so that in case you're in Kabale and somebody needs blood there, if you registered from here, you'll still get a message quickly when you're within Kabale saying there's somebody in Kabale Hospital needs blood.
How will you set this up? Who will buy you?
Who is going to buy us? We're going to partner with, we are aiming at partnering with Ministry of Health to make sure that they need to know the statistics of the usage of blood, the blood donations and the blood banks, to basically monitor the whole scope of blood in the country.
Honorable Minister, if I may. Yes, my name is Maurice. I'm not with them. They have done a nice product. But I would like to request that the government also streamline the policies that actually protect innovations. For example, my colleagues have an application which is quite similar to one that was developed earlier on, which is called Blood Finder from Barrow University of Science and Technology. And it's something that we're working on. But my request to as this move is moving on, the drive for ICT, that the policies towards copyrights and intellectual properties are streamlined, so that innovators who are doing similar applications, like she has just inquired, do not get to collide, but we get to move forward together.
Okay,
also,
take note of that.
the IP policies of institutions should be taken care of, so that innovators are motivated, and institutions do not take IP away from innovators, but rather find a way of working with the students so that both can transform Uganda. Thank you.
That's important.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of UBC TV. As you can see now, in this particular room where we've seen, where we've been, is where a number of these innovators actually who have merited to receive a part of the 13 billion innovation fund. They go with 2.5 billion shillings collectively, and of course every other individual group are getting its own particular amount of money from what they requested for. But these are the innovations. Now I want to just thank you so much for being part of the broadcast here at the ICT house at the Ministry of ICT. My name is Jagenda Semakola, on behalf of the team that we've actually been with. We will now just take you back to Broadcast House on Nile Avenue for regular programming. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll go now to our studios on Nile Avenue.